Welcome to another episode from our Growth Tips series. The only place to grow you, grow your business, and live the lifestyle you want to live. In this video, we go through the process of how to design your brand identity. Now, every time your customer comes into contact with your business, it creates an impression, whether that's good, bad, or neutral. These are called touch points. It's important that you understand this because if your messages aren't consistent in what you say, compared to how you do things, it will give mixed messages and will most likely lead to a bad impression. This training looks at how we can create the best impression first time, and then consistently every time. The eyes consume huge amounts of information and then relay it to our brain unconsciously. This is what leads us to make snap judgments of whether something appeals to us or not. Look at the pictures and just think what reaction each of these has on you. How does it make you feel? You've got a chocolate cake. You've got a bag of gold coins. And you've got the gold Ferrari. Now, depending on what experiences you've had throughout your life, will also determine how you think about these things. So what elements make up your identity? Most people would say that a brand is just a business's logo and its name. Actually, these two are important, but it includes lots of things. It includes every time a customer or potential customer comes into contact with the business or its staff. These are called the touch points, or if strong enough, you might call them an impact point, because if it's good or bad, it's going to make some kind of impact on the decision to buy from a company. Here's a small example of what could be included in that touch point list. Now just imagine this from your own point of view. Look at how each one of these fit into your own business. And you might think of all the times your customers come into contact with your business. But we've got stationery, business cards, your staff uniform, forms, invoices, emails, newsletter, your website, your Facebook page. Every time someone calls you or you call them, you've got your telephone manner. You've got customer service, advertising. Your vehicles, are they clean? Are they new? What make are they? Are they sign written? What colour are they? An interesting point to consider with this one, not only are you considering your own brand with this one, but you also need to consider what people think about the make of vehicle. For example, look at what people might think about a Mercedes compared to, let's say, a Fiat. What words do you associate with Mercedes compared to Fiat? You probably associate Mercedes with quality and prestige, whereas the Fiat would be more cheap and cheerful. Now, if you're trying to project a quality image about your business and moving toward charging higher prices, it might be a bad idea to go with the Fiat because their brand is automatically associated with yours. In other words, you're charging high prices, but your marketing and your brand are shouting cheap and cheerful. Also consider what people might associate locally. For example, if there's been a local business who had a recognizably large fleet of red Ford vans, but then something happened to that business, perhaps they were found out to be cowboys, be careful not to choose red Ford vans in that scenario. And that could be associated with any manufacturer or anything that could be associated with your business. Because unconsciously, in your customers' minds, your business will also be associated with whatever they did wrong. To continue, you've got touch points from your salespeople. your communication style and format, your printed materials such as brochures, any signage including the materials that you use, and as well as the font type, if you have any text on there. If you're trying to represent a modern, forward-facing image, don't use old Gothic style text. Your office or business premises, employee attitudes, any smells or sounds. It even comes down to your Twitter background or personal social media pages, or how you interact with people on social media, such as Facebook groups. And then we can consider your company name and logo. They either support your company brand and image, or they detract from it. The image elements of your brand perform very specific functions. Your logo and business name are the first thing a potential customer will come into contact with. So it must perform these tasks. It must clearly identify your company. It must appeal to your target market. It must differentiate your firm. And it must support the most important aspect of your core message. So, do all of your image elements meet these criteria? Your company name. The business name has several functions and should be chosen with at least one of these in mind. First of all, recognition of your products or services. Is it clear what your firm does? For example, Bob's Electrical Repair is stronger than Bob's Electric. Differentiation. Does your business's name allow you to stand out in your industry? In the legal field, you tend to have a lot of firms that have a bunch of people's names, normally the partners of the business. But you could equally be seen as an accountant, a lawyer, or an estate agent with this approach. For example, it could be Smith, Jones, and Williams. Could be replaced by Speeding Ticket Busters. Okay, it's a bit of a rubbish name, but hopefully you can understand where I'm going. And number 3, it must have a favourable association with the target market. If the customers of your exclusive salon are primarily upscale women, then Jimmy's Hair Palace might not make sense. Your logo is the cornerstone of the company's branding elements. The elements of a good logo. Number 1, it must have lasting value. Trendy logos don't hold up over time. Number 2, it must be distinct. There is some uniqueness as long as it doesn't confuse. Number 3, it must appeal to your target market. Go for colours and fonts that your target like. Number 4, it must support your core message. If your message is that you have low prices, your logo should reflect that. In other words, don't use the same font as that used for, say, Rolex watches. And number 5, it must be legible. Many people use font types and images that can't be printed or carried to a large sign. Your logo should be scalable. It should clearly identify your company, and if you can't read it, you can't understand it. Imagine putting your logo on both a business card, but also on the side of a big truck. Can you attach a visual metaphor? While it's not always available, a logo or name that creates a visual metaphor can be powerful, and it can stick in the mind of your target audience. Colors and powerful images can help drive the association to your business and help you to stand out. A fleet of lime green vans, catchy names, a vivid image, or a mascot can help you stand out. You must create your logo professionally. There are some people that do logos for a few dollars, but from experience, you generally get what you pay for. Ask yourself, if you're only paying $5 for a logo, is it a trained designer that's doing it, or just a teenager in the bedroom? I don't expect anyone to spend thousands on the logo, but equally, is your brand image the first thing people see about your company only worth $5? Next, you want to create a brief for the graphic designer to work to, expressing what the business does, along with your marketing core message, purpose, and talking logo. When you've got everything finished, ask the graphic designer to provide a set of standards for the design. And these should include details of the font type, the color code, etc. When you've got this, you can pass it around your business and also pass it on to any external marketing people so they can use it when creating communication or adverts. It basically tells everyone how the logo can be displayed, where the logo is stored, and the details of the logo structure. Now, every time your phone is answered or you make a call, it sends out an unconscious marketing message. If you've got an IVR call system, which is a queuing feature or music while you wait, you need to ensure any messages the caller hears are in line with your marketing message and your standards. The same goes for the type of music you're playing on there. Try not to leave it up to your system host to determine what music is being played. Remember, everything that touches your customer is going to determine how they think about you. And that especially goes for the type of music that touches their eardrums. Now, you want to create a script for voicemails for everyone in your business. A voicemail message that conveys your core marketing message. Use the same template for everyone in the business. This shouldn't include telling the caller that you're away from your desk or you're on the phone. They already know this because otherwise you'd have answered. It can include a short message about a new product, a tip, or perhaps a relevant quote. Email. A template email signature is the biggest place where businesses fall down. As the business grows, you tend to find 6 people, all with 6 different email signatures, and each giving off mixed or different messages to the audience. I once received an email from a new girl in the firm. She decided to create her own email signature. It included lots of pretty pink hearts around her name. Now you might say, oh, how cute, until you realize it was a professional services company. Create a template that everyone can use. And even better, have it set up, ready to go, whenever a new employee starts work. Now, if most of your staff are remote or site-based, there's a chance they'll be sending emails more now from site than they did 15 years ago. They might be doing that through their mobile phone rather than a PC or a laptop, but most email providers will automatically attach the signature every time an email is sent from a mobile phone. So you don't need to worry about them sending messages to external parties and the signature being different to everyone else. Your email signature should include your contact information, but also your marketing message. This should definitely not be where clip art or fancy wallpapers appear. Now, the state of your work is generally a byproduct of your environment. Your business premises, your vehicles, your site cabins or storerooms should always look as if your number one customer will be visiting later today. This includes your home office. Even if a customer never visits, you'll feel much happier, less stressed, and more professional, which always reflects in your work. Have you got a dress code or a uniform? Now remember, your dress code either adds or detracts from your brand image, so make it right. How should you dress? The common thoughts are that you should dress one step above your target audience. So if your audience wear casual suits, dress in a three-piece suit. If you work for homeowners, look at what your competitors wear and go one step up from that. You don't want to be wearing a shirt and tie to clean the windows. But if your competitors wear polo shirts, why not upgrade that to short sleeve shirts? Let's consider an example and compare 3 heating companies. They each arrive at your house to service your central heating boiler. One wears a boiler suit, the second wears a polo shirt, and the third wears a shirt with tie. Now, from a practicality point of view, you might say the third one is ridiculous, but I've seen some of the most well-known companies wearing just that. So which ones do you think present the best image for your company? Likewise, if you're trying to communicate that you're the cheapest heating company, wearing a shirt and tie to service the boiler might not present the desired image. Likewise, let's imagine you have a 4th company turn up. This time the engineer is wearing stretchy gym pants and a Manchester United football shirt. Which of the 4 are you least likely to choose? As you start to do all of this and you start to work out what fits well with your business, it's good to practice repeating and perfecting the process, but also, over time, also documenting it. You can even package these processes up and give them a name. Anyone new in the business can easily identify how they achieve a particular objective then. For example, a sales call might be called our 2-step internal seminar. And the first step to improving your image is to look at where you are now. Look at every touch point and determine which ones have a positive or a negative impact on your business. As a starter, before doing it on your business, why not try it on a business you've never had any experience of before? Perhaps go to a local coffee shop, see how everything has a positive or a negative impact on how you feel about the business. Everything from the sounds, the seating, the table layout, the menu, the smell, the color scheme, the feel, how comfortable it is, the product, the staff, the uniform, the shop signage, the car parking, the location. By doing this a few times, it gives you a different perspective on your own business. Now you can do the same in your own business, this time with that heightened senses. Call the business, go through the process of buying and delivery. Why not do the same with your competitors? Call them, write to them, even experience their service delivery. So the actions for this learning session. First of all, determine if your identity elements support your target market. Number 2, create identity elements for your marketing, sales, fulfillment, and customer service processes. Number 3, complete your identity audit. And finally, don't forget to download and complete the workbook. Thank you for watching. I hope you've got some value from this. You can download the workbook by clicking the link below. If you think others would get some value from this, please invite them to join the various social media groups and pages. And that's it until the next time. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time.